All right, with that set up, is there any reason we can't
We can,
commence our meeting? Okay, I call this meeting to order at 5:32. And take a roll call. Got- For the secretary's edification, we have Alex Tager
here,
and we have Sebastiano Marino.
Here.
We have Alex McKenzie
Here.
and Harry Brown. And I think I see Jim McIntosh remotely. Jim, do you want to take down names also of non-governing board members? Seemed like.
I do. I always record those at the meeting, so.
How about we go around and say our names? Starting with you.
Lauren Diorio,
Avery Jepson Brown.
Iris Cunningham.
Hannah Wax.
Sorry, I'm trying, there's another member who's trying to.
So
join.
my screen is frozen at the moment. My internet connection may come and go, so I may have to resort to using the filmed minutes, but yeah, everybody's kind of a still life right now.
Sorry, Jim.
We can hear you all right. I would maybe recommend, unless you really want us to be able to see your facial expressions, you could turn off your video and maybe that will help reduce your bandwidth.
Okay, will do. Thanks for the tip.
For the record, Justine V. Hill is also present remotely. An oxymoron. of
Thank
the
you.
modern-
And yeah, Jackie Riley is who's trying to join. She is our new office manager, but she can't get in for unknown reasons. So maybe she'll show up.
Okay, you'll keep an eye out. Thanks. Have we volunteered to read the mission and vision?
Read it.
Thank you, Alex.
Mission at Aldo Leopold Charter School, the human and natural environment serve as text and lab for learning through direct experience, inquiry, and stewardship. For vision, Aldo Leopold Charter School graduates will use the skills, perspectives, and information they gain at school to enhance their own lives and to advance social, economic, and environmental sustainability.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Jackie.
Oh, good. Jackie, can you hear us?
Oh, she's disconnected.
Not
She's in
yet.
Mexico too.
Jackie, can you hear us? Okay. You're muted.
But we can read your lips. Like our new business.
We can't hear you. She's trying to talk now that she's not muted and we can't hear her. But
No, we can't hear you, Jackie.
Mic volume. There you go.
There, try now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
All
Okay.
right,
we're all good.
great, we're all here. Item 3 on the agenda is reviewing meeting minutes. It says August, it means September.
It means September.
And there were 2 sets of minutes. There's September 12 and September 24. I attempted to contact you about that, Hannah.
Today.
Exactly. Um, Thank you, Jim, for preparing those.
Sure.
You prepared them with a series of yellow highlights, some of which we can fill in. We found out that Iris's name is Cottingham, and she's a
Okay.
half sibling of.
Did you
Of
look on the
Chris.
website? Because I fixed all of that and posted it on the website where the minutes go. So all of the
I-
minutes are updated on the website.
Even if they haven't approved them.
Right, they're draft
Yeah,
minutes.
as long as they're up as draft, it's fine.
Okay, and they are up as draft.
Then that's fine.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thanks.
Sure.
Oh, no, hadn't occurred to me.
We- yeah.
So you filled in Michelle's name and all those other ones, okay.
There's the
Flashing in.
highlights.
Do we have them in this
No,
packet?
No,
No,
they're
okay,
not.
that's fine.
No.
I appreciate that we don't have them in this
Just
packet.
getting them on the website and fixed was, yeah,
And September 24, same deal?
same deal.
Also,
I don't know that I fixed it, just there is a draft.
I don't know that there was anything to fix. Anybody have anything to say about the minutes of September 12? Anybody have anything to say about the minutes of September 24? I would entertain a motion to approve both sets.
Make the motion to approve both sets of minutes.
Motion by Alex McKenzie,
I'll second.
second by Alex Tager.
Okay.
Anybody got any discussion now that there's been a motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I say aye, and Jim is gone.
Uh-oh.
Which is okay.
Hopefully he can
approved.
enjoy it and not get frustrated. All right, so that passes 4-0 with Jim being absent. Agenda review.
So I see that we left I left student council report off because I looked at the last one when there wasn't someone here. So let's add student council before staff, if that's okay.
Yep, between 6 and 7.
Yeah,
That sounds perfect. You have bars 1 and 2. It's actually bars 10 and 11,
oh, I thought I
for
figured
what
that
that's
one.
worth.
It
Oh.
is 10 and 11, yeah.
And I don't understand action item B.
It shouldn't be on there, let's take it off.
Nice. I brought
Yeah.
an action item sheet just in case it was a real thing.
It's not. No, it should have been taken off. I obviously had more than one version of this, then I posted the wrong one.
Any other agenda items?
Yeah, I have a point of information, and sorry, I was looking for some kind of hand raising device here, but as far as the rules about updating an agenda, I was thinking today that I might put something else on the agenda, and I realized, oh, it's probably way too late. Is it legitimate to change an agenda at the beginning of the meeting as we're doing now, and then proceed with that? That's not violating any kind of open meetings requirements.
For any purpose other than action, it's fine.
Okay. All right.
So do you have something for us?
No, it's nothing that can't wait till our November meeting.
Okay. In that case, I'd entertain a motion to
Yeah.
approve the agenda.
I mean, you could also, there's a governing council input section, Jim.
Okay.
I will move approval of the agenda.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Alice. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And Jim, by the way, we missed your vote on the minutes. Do you care?
I vote aye. I didn't know if it was appropriate for the secretary who wrote them to vote aye, but I vote aye. I stand
right.
behind my typing.
Thank you. An excellent narrative. Public comment. Have we any public comment? Okay, that would only be you.
Not this time around.
Maybe never.
This is your
If,
last.
that's right. Might not be public.
Why
in the
don't
future.
you introduce yourself? Will you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Lauren Diorio. I am hopeful to be on the board. I am an administrator over at Guadalupe Montessori School. Really enjoy it there. And I enjoy the land here and I love Aldo's mission and excited to learn more.
Awesome.
You didn't
So-
mention all the cool things you do. She's on search and rescue.
Can I see a woman?
Yay.
So,
So by administrator,
I'd be
you're
outside.
she's a director,
No, she's,
business manager, what is?
what's her official title?
School administrator.
Okay, we don't have one of them.
We don't have one, so that's good. We need one of those.
Anyone else? Make a wish.
any other cool things you wanted to add on her behalf?
No, she ran the last 100 miles that Will ran last weekend with him. She ran the last 15,
Really?
20 miles with him.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I like to run, cave, climb, paddle. Yeah, anything to do with the land, pretty much.
Very cool.
That is very cool. Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for being here.
Thanks a lot. Okay, Justine, you're up. Business manager report. Thanks for being with us on a Thursday.
Yes, of course. Would you like me to share my screen?
Sure, if you have something to share.
I did print up your documentation for them and made a packet, so they do have it in front of them, but I think it's good to share too.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
because not
right.
every packet.
Oh, no? Does
Right,
someone need my
yes.
packet?
I'm
I'll-
thinking,
I'll
yes,
three of us are-
Oh, okay.
I've been worried about
Okay.
it. They can see it.
There's no
Screen.
packet.
Yeah, there's a screen.
There's a screen.
All right.
Screen.
All right, Justine.
Okay, so I'll start with the revenue report. This report is run from July 1st through September 30th. So starting with revenues, I like to look at the actual column. This will tell you what actual revenues the school has received as of September 30th. I did do the first round of RFRs, which are the requests for reimbursement that we submit to ED for the federal and state funds. I did that middle of September. I do those on a monthly basis during the middle of each month. So I will be submitting the second round of RFRs probably by middle of next week. We have, looking at the status of the RFRs on the OBMS website, they are mostly approved and we should be seeing those getting paid out now in October. But as far as the actual revenues as of September, we have received, of course, our SCG that we get every month, and then the USDA food services reimbursements. Going on to the expenditure report, looking at the operational fund, we have an available balance of $501,000, and this is after all salaries and benefits are encumbered, as well as any open purchase orders. So again, of course, this balance can change as we open and close purchase orders. Going on to the rest of the funds, we do have some negative funds. I kind of would like to see the invoices for the food services to get more of an idea of what those look like a trend. We may have a purchase order for food services that may be too high, but once we start paying those out, I'll get a better idea of what those look like from month to month. And then anything that the funds don't cover will be moved to the operational fund and that will cover that expense. Idea B, this one is negative. I know we approved a bar last month, but there was 2 separate revenue codes and PED wanted me to split them out by the revenue code. So I do have 2 separate bars tonight for idea B. One is a carryover and one is the regular award for fiscal year 25. So this will be budgeted once these bars are approved by PED. And then Title II is a little bit negative, just due to benefits. So again, whatever this fund doesn't cover will be moved to the operational by the end of the year. I usually do that cleanup towards the end of the fiscal year. And then ESSER2, this one has to be spent by the end of October. Hannah and I have been kind of going back and forth on this fund and how to spend it. Ultimately, what we're going to do is just move part of a teacher's salary into ESSER to spend all of this fund down. We did want to do tutoring, but the services have to be rendered by the end of October, and that just wasn't going to happen. We have about $37,000 to spend, and there just wasn't enough time. So with ESSER3, we really can spend this on anything. So I'll be moving part of a salary, this expense into this fund to spend that down. And then the public school capital outlay, we're just waiting on that award letter. We usually get that around November, December. So hopefully I will have a bar for you all to approve, I would say by December. Are there any questions on the expenditure report?
Sorry, Justine, Harry has a question.
Okay,
Just Fund 31,200, I just wanted to clarify that's lease reimbursement. Is that right?
that's correct.
You've got it with its formal name here. Are there any other?
Yes.
I don't see any other questions.
Okay. All right. Going on to the next page is the issued purchase orders report. These are just the current open POs.
Oh, so my question was, how come some of the staff is on here, but not all of it?
The staff on the purchase orders report,
Yeah,
Like where?
well, I'm assuming that they're staff, like Arrow Parsons.
It's probably a contract.
She's a contractor. She's
So
a,
that, so it's just contractors on this PO.
Yeah,
report. Got it.
yeah.
There could be a staff person if they had a PO for travel or something.
Right, no, but I'm,
Right, did they have sustained?
Like Pete Rankin's on here.
but I'm talking about
Yeah.
the bigger numbers.
if they purchase any supplies or anything like that as well, they'll get a reimbursement. Okay.
110 to Guadalupe Montessori,
that's food.
110,000.
We are required this year to add breakfast
Oh,
and the price of food has gone up. So it used to be, I think we did $5.70 per plate last year for lunch. It's now $6 and we added breakfast. It's,
Is it a
yeah,
hot breakfast?
So basically.
it's not a hot breakfast. It's a grab and go, like string cheese, yogurt, bagels, that kind of thing, fruit. And maybe Justine, do you know exactly how much we'll get from the state in reimbursement for food? I know it's nowhere near
It
that.
should be kind of like a wash.
Should
It
be.
should be, you know, whatever you submit, the student count, the numbers that you report to them, it should be kind of the same amount that you pay.
But it
won't-
won't be.
It won't, in our case, we don't do it that way, Justine. We go for really good lunch.
Yeah, we have a really quality lunch that we pay a lot for. So the school will eat part of that and we apply for some grants for it. But I just wondered if you knew. Cause I think the state reimbursement, its rate, I think it's at like
Oh, I was gonna say
485.
3.
No, it's gone up. It did go
Yeah.
up. I think it's like 485, maybe even 5 a plate this year, but that's for all of it. That's breakfast and lunch. And we pay way more than that.
We have
I'm
a
gonna-
budget of 80,000.
Oh, is that right?
That's what it says.
Hannah, just to clarify, for when I'm taking notes, did you say, we're trying to spend $6 per day on lunch and breakfast? Is that the goal?
No, we pay $6 per plate for lunch and then breakfast it's not plated, it's just Heidi basically signs off for Nobel to deliver straight here and we grab off whatever we order for the month. Actually, every
Okay.
week. But and so we're just paying cost for breakfast, truly. Yeah. And so
Okay.
that's-
Will we receive breakfast reimbursement in addition to lunch reimbursement, or it's one chunk of money for
That-
feeding young
No,
people?
the answer to that. That's what I was just asking Justine. I really. don't
Gotcha.
know.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the USDA reimbursements, but we haven't received. We received like some from May last year, some late ones, but not. I don't see any USDA for this year. You've been submitting the reports, correct?
We have been submitting the reports.
Who is submitting them?
Kathy Gomez.
Well, they could be behind on the reimbursements. So once I see those reimbursements coming in, I can kind of look at the invoice and the reimbursement and kind of see what the difference is.
Yeah, and I'll check with Kathy tomorrow and make sure, but I know we had a whole issue of getting her in the portal and how to do it. So I'm pretty sure she's been doing it regularly and timely.
We'll find out.
We'll find
as
out.
the year goes on. Any questions about the issued POs, anybody?
All right, going on to the bank account register activity report. This is just for the month of September, showing our revenues and expenses for that month.
Justine, do you know why? I don't understand. So we definitely take money in for trips like Camp Thunderbird or whatever it is, but we don't sell backpacks. Do you know why I keep saying sales?
Sales.
What has same thing?
I think that what I meant to type was backpacking,
Ah, okay.
and it's not a sale, and I'll label it differently.
We call them trip fees.
Yeah, fees, okay. I'll do backpacking fees, I'll change that. Sorry about that.
No problem.
That's what parents give for their kid to go in the backpack. So,
And then these other
Yeah.
one, it says Camp Thunderbird and then just backpack.
Probably again, because people pay whenever they pay and then Kathy deposits that money, you know, because we can't keep cash in the school. So it's not all deposited at once. It comes trickling in.
So, another point of information, do you feel like, this is not a very good way to ask the question, but is your sense, Hannah, that no student has ever had to stay, or this year has ever had to stay behind on a school trip because they couldn't afford to attend? That is 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No, we have some we have 3 different levels where they can pay
Right.
full trip, sort of medium, and then bare bones. We have kids who don't even pay bare bones because they can't,
Right.
and that's fine.
And then the other part of that question would be, has there been kind of a little bit of sliding for, I don't know, some students or families saying, well, since you don't really get dinged for not paying, we're not gonna pay.
I don't know the answer to that, Jim. I think it's a great question. And I think that our whole system of tracking who pays for trips and how much they paid and what trips really cost is going to be something fun for our new office manager, Jackie Riley.
Okay.
Jackie, will you just introduce yourself real quick? And we've talked about this a little bit already.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jackie Riley. Today was my 4th day there at this school. I'm really learning so much. I was thinking, I was born and raised in Grant County, but just in these last few days, I am so impressed. I am just like in awe with all the stuff that happens. And I'm impressed with Hannah herself because she is just like, I mean, like a little, like an Energizer bunny. She's just everywhere. But I'm just excited to be on board and just be a part of your group.
Thanks, Jackie. But yeah, a lot of
Good to
those,
have you, thanks.
yeah,
Thank
and especially at the school that Justine she can't track that stuff. Jackie and I have already talked about ways to do it better.
And when I was doing EED coordinating last year, Kathy, obviously got a million things going on, but she was doing a pretty
She
good job
does a good
of
job.
sending reminders. So there's not teeth behind those, but kids at the end of a semester, their parents and they will know they have an outstanding balance. So it doesn't get the money in now, but it does, I think, do a decent job of trying to get some of that.
And Avery, I think that's super important because Kathy does so much with that and she stays on it and she tracks it all. And yeah, she
She
does a
knew
great job.
kids that hadn't paid from like a trip from a month before, 2 months before.
months ago.
Okay, so you do have this recorded. It's
Yeah.
just, you don't have the time to like hunt these people down necessarily.
Yeah. Thanks, Avery.
Yeah.
Any questions for Justine on the expenditure report? With the check, the check.
The
register.
check register, yeah.
I don't see any, Justine.
Okay, going on to the next report is your bank reconciliation. At the end of September, we had an ending bank balance of $1,024,000. we had outstanding checks of $7,000 that we've mailed out and the vendors had not yet cashed yet. And then the last report is your balance sheet, which shows your total cash by fund, which reconciles to the bank reconciliation. Any questions on these reports? Okay, I can move on to the bars. I don't have the agenda in front of me. I'm not sure if the bars are next.
You can explain them during your report whenever you want. We will
Okay.
vote on them at the end of the agenda.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna bring up bar number 10. This is for Idea B. I think the only two bars we have tonight are Idea B. Just the difference is the object code or the revenue code. So the award for fiscal year 25 is $43,417. And this amount didn't change from last month. It's just split up between two revenue codes, same fund though. And then the second bar, bar number 11, is in the amount of $10,092.
And that's carryover?
Yes. So the 10,000 is carryover and the 43,000 is the award.
Questions?
And
All right.
I think
Justine, thank
I
you.
also included in the packet was the credit card detail. So if you had any questions on that.
That's the tiny one, right? It's this one?
Yeah. The one you can't read.
Yeah, I apologize. I tried to get all columns on the same page. That's why it's so little.
It's still very helpful to me. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I think it's helpful too. I appreciate it, Justine.
Okay. Anything questionable at all? Okay, last chance to ask Justine a question. All right, enjoy your evening.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Justine.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie, for coming for the business report.
You're not staying?
I may stay for a little bit longer. I have a couple of errands that I need to run before, but I'm going to stay a little bit longer. I wanted to meet everybody and see how exactly it runs.
Nice. And it can be fun to hear the student report also.
That's right. It's
which
always
is
good.
Up next, you're on, Iris.
Council to meet this week, but in our last meeting, just decided on like the different days for Spirit Week. And we were talking about dance. We don't have a place for it yet, so I think we'll decide that next week.
For a winter dance?
Winter, for the Halloween.
Halloween dance, coming up fast.
Yeah. 'Cause we do it November 1st and we just don't have a place for it.
Okay.
But if we don't find a place, we can always see if we can do outside the museum. And then I also have like the days and what we're gonna do for Spirit Week.
What are they?
On Monday, we're gonna do a gender swap / like pajama day. And then Tuesday, teacher neglect day. And then. Teacher neglect day?
Look-alike. Are you assigning people teachers? Can I?
It's like grocery just to take it and have a beer.
But it's like teacher neglect day and then the teachers like dress like students.
Oh, nice.
Last year, Miss Phillips did that and she did a really good job.
She did an awesome
Almost
job.
exactly what Abby was wearing.
Yeah.
Which was really funny. And the Wednesday, like different decades, so each like grade.
As the connectivity back here sucks, I have to go out here by the.
You have
By
to
the
go
motive.
Sunset?
So decades on Wednesday?
Yeah,
Okay.
so each grade will dress like a.
And this
different
is all Halloween week?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Thursday is like wear your costumes since it's Halloween.
And then we weren't gonna do anything on Fridays since like.
No one's here.
And chips and stuff. And then maybe like the Halloween. But that's
Oh,
still.
nice. Okay, that's awesome. That's exciting. Thank you. Do you have anything else?
That's about it, yeah.
That's it? Okay. How was your fall break?
It was really good, yeah. I went over to the college fair.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
right. And which ones did you like?
There were a couple in Colorado.
That's cool. And Iris was part of the student focus group that the charter school division ran on Tuesday.
Oh,
How was that?
nice.
Will you tell us about
That
the
was really
student
good.
focus group?
It was really like interesting to answer all the questions and I haven't much done anything like that before, so it was really,
Okay, and they were nice to you?
they were.
Okay. Any other questions for Iris? Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
I thought stay a little bit longer.
Okay.
Nice. Cool. Party continues. Avery, staff report.
All right, let's see, so middle school, Spanish class, with Carmen is, Carmen Garcia. They're planning to set up an ofrenda type of thing. I think it's here.
It is
where
gonna
she-
be up
yes,
here, yeah.
Yes, and she's she's bought a ton of supplies, so she's kindly offered to let my high school Spanish class also get in on
Oh, nice.
decorating and participating in that. And then I think once it's set up, it'll be set available to the school. So that's nice. And we've got the senior fall trip coming up soon.
Next week?
Next week, yep. And I'm not going this time, so I'm not totally clear on the details, but it looks like it's 3 days instead of the 4 that it was previously, or last year at least. And so it's a little bit more abbreviated, maybe a little bit more reasonable to fit into this sort of busy time. They're going to northern New Mexico, Santa Fe. It's I think the primary.
I know they're gonna go visit in Albuquerque and visit with Bella, who's an alum who just passed the bar, and she's working for the, does anybody know the name of the organization? The Border
Immigration.
Yes.
Immigration Law
Enforcement.
Center, yeah. And so they get to visit with her and the whole organization there.
That's Jeffrey Butler. right?
Yeah, it sure is. That's super cool.
And there, I think there's another Aldo alum volunteering there, so maybe that'd be kind of cool if that worked out. Yeah, and then we have, we've actually had to move the Sonoran Sojourn. The Sonoran Sojourn was slated for the week of November 4th, but we have November 5th off for Election Day. And so we didn't realize that when we set up the scheduling it, but Maya Cheney, the experiential education coordinator, is happy to have another week to get reservations figured out. And so we're looking at leaving on the 11th of November,
Which is not a holiday.
which is not a
Even though it's
holiday.
Veterans Day.
Yeah,
Even though
it's not a holiday. in
Right,
our
we have to
country.
pick, for those who don't know, we have to pick and choose, right, which holidays we're gonna do. We have to get a certain number of days. So, Columbus / Indigenous Peoples' Day didn't happen as a day off, and neither will Veterans Day. Let's see, we've wrapped up backpacking. The last time that there was a meeting was the 24th, so backpacking had just ended, is that right?
We haven't had a meeting since start of September.
That would,
Oh,
The
we have-
se- Oh, we had the 12th and the
we had a
24th.
special meeting
You're
on the
right.
24th.
Sure, so special meeting, but backpacking, from all of the feedback that I got in the debriefing meetings that I was part of was a great success. And kudos to Maya. It's a really hard thing to pull off, so she did a good job with that.
And you helped.
And I helped.
And thank you to Avery for helping.
No problem. And I think that's all I've got as a staff update for you all right now. I think, I guess also from middle school, Camp Thunderbird, there were really good reviews for how it went. There was maybe a hiccup at the end with payment or something. But as in terms of the students' experiences and the parents.
Splitting it up worked.
Yeah,
Right, we did it in split groups this year.
yes, And that's been for a couple years now.
Yeah, since last year, we just started, because the middle school is so huge,
big.
but we've decided we're gonna push Camp Thunderbird back to October next year. Because September was backpacking Thunderbird, so a trip every single weekend, a big trip. And it was chaotic, it was a lot, and so pushing Camp Thunderbird back to October, they're in buildings with heaters, right? And it'll be great, so that's our plan for
Plus,
next year.
October's real warm.
Heck, now it's 90 in October.
Yeah. Any questions? Me?
Thanks, Avery.
Thanks,
Thank you
Avery.
for being here. Appreciate it. And I'm sorry about the late notice. I really did
No,
like
no,
for
no.
all week. I'm like, I gotta tell Avery.
It's my responsibility.
It is.
When I have to tell, you got a million things you have to tell me when I gotta do my thing. Thanks for
Thank
reminding me
you.
that.
Sure. No,
All right, thanks
Right.
guys, I gotta go.
good to see you.
Bye.
Glad you're looking healthy.
Yeah.
Avery was also sick.
I know.
You both got super sick, not together.
Together. So, strategic plan goal manager report.
All right, that's me. Let me share my screen.
Just to prepare myself, is that,
That's
Yes.
Look at that. Mhm,
Fancy.
I know.
does Jim have access to these things?
No,
Okay. Sorry, Jim.
that is on my it's on my report. I have to, sorry, just a second. I have so many tabs going. This is
So
just-
here's another point of information in the lull. How many days after this meeting do I have to submit minutes? Because I have to admit that getting a hold of a few documents in between now and then would be useful, though not necessary. Is there a rule that, I heard the figure 5 days that we have.
It's 10 days. It's in our bylaws.
Okay,
And Jim, I will have an AI generated, minutes for you that I'll share with you tomorrow, probably, that should help.
okay,
Facilitate.
okay. I should know that from bylaws, and I guess that escaped me, but 10 days, thank you.
Sure, sure. And there's no enforcement.
There you go. Like everything. Okay, so Dr. Smith did this wonderful thing. First, the strategic plan is updated and it is on the website. And then he has given the input from the governing council, sort of simplified this, and this is what's in front of you. And Jim, I know you can't see it quite as well, so I will pull it a little bit bigger for you. So there are just a few this month. Dr. Smith will be here next month. And the first one, improve teaching and learning systems and practices to support the growth of each student is the overarching goal. The objective is to formulate ideas for sixth grade recruitment and continued school-wide retention. I think the whole goal of this, Dr. Smith and I talked about, one other way to generate revenue is to expand sixth grade, to have 2 sections of sixth grade instead of just 1. We have 26 graders, 18 actually, and then we have 35 or 6 7th and 8th graders. And if you had 2, then they could split just like 7th and 8th grade does and have a STEM and a humanities and swap instead of having sort of an all-inclusive model like elementary school. Our building right now doesn't allow for that. And we could, there is a cap to right now on our middle school of 90. So we couldn't expand. I can anytime request to change that, but I could certainly do it when we do contract negotiations after the renewal, which I'll probably do just in case. Every time we expand though, it creates all sorts of unexpected things like too many kids, like risk management issues, like running trip issues. So it's something that I will do slowly and cautiously if I were to do it. The second goal there is to continue internal program budget and improve pre-trip planning process to include trip budgets. So this sort of speaks to Jim's question. Dr. Smith gave himself this task, and you can see that he has pushed this back to December's GC meeting. And so Jackie, you will soon, I will share Dr. Smith, your emails with each other, and he will contact you. And you guys can work on some of that pre-trip budget planning stuff together, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
The next one is no reports due for goal 3, and then provide facility maintenance, operations, and risk management practices to improve student health, safety, and learning. And so this says reviewing risk management plan and continuing to increase staff trained. You know, the staff trained piece is ongoing. The risk management plan, there is actually something called a school safety plan, which we have a new one due December 1st. I think most of you know this year I put Pete Rankin in charge of risk management. So he's running not just the committee, but he is working on this plan. And Jim has written this plan in the past. It is a massive thing. Right now, Pete's taking all the pieces from the old plan that Jim wrote and popping them into the new plan, the template provided by the state. But it's like 100 and something page document, and just tons of policy. And so risk management is working on that plan. I don't know what else to say about that. And then someday we'll have it done. Any questions on the goal manager reports?
Does that plan get reviewed every single year?
No, it's a 3-year
Okay,
cycle.
feels like it's.
Doesn't it feel, yeah, I know. And because when I started here, Jim was working on it. And I feel like I've been here like no time at all. Yeah.
I think
So-
I think we'd be able to have a more consistent version of that report with reasonable revisions every 3 years if we didn't have somebody new in the driver's seat coming up with a completely new, like a rubric for the Safe School Plan. So it would be great if we could get some consistency there. So we were going back and tweaking as we update facilities, update plans,
It
rather than have to redo the thing. So
It
it's
would make
frustrating.
everyone's life so much better. Like the inconsistency at the state level creates so much confusion and extra work. So you're 100% right.
But Jim
there.
is talking about our staff, right?
Oh, I thought he was talking about at the state level.
No, I said in MPED, I'm talking about they get somebody new in the driver's seat and suddenly there's a whole new rubric for the Safe School Plan.
Which there is this year.
Yeah.
So Jim created a beautiful, comprehensive plan, and we have to do it a whole different way.
Got it. Thank you for clarifying.
And their rubric is really like, if you don't have this thing on page 4, you don't get that box checked. So even if Jim already wrote that, but it's on page 78, we wouldn't get credit. So you have to like follow the template to get the rubric, to get the boxes checked. Which is really awesome.
Anything else?
I love that.
You can tell.
Anything else for us?
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Any other comments or questions on the strategic plan? Goal manager reports and the new plan is on the website. Dr. Smith emailed me quite a few weeks ago, and he had asked me to forward that to you, and I never did. So I will. I'll forward it to you now, but it has the new updated strategic plan and this piece of paper that I shared with you.
And you'll get this every month,
Yes,
this fancy piece of paper.
Cool.
yes, we will.
Good.
Every month.
Yeah, that's helpful to
Yeah.
have. it in
It's
advance.
nice. I thought it was
It
a
is.
really good idea.
I agree.
All right.
Well, Hannah, we're still on.
move
If you're up for director's report.
Okay. The biggest thing other than getting all of the renewal paperwork in, that was, you all know that because I emailed you. I got that all done. And then the charter school division was here on Tuesday for the renewal site visit. Went very well. They're very nice people. They are definitely here to support us. They really are. They're so helpful, and they're kind, and they were nice to kids, which is important to me.
Were kids nice to them?
They were good.
A lot of people just say that they would have loved to go to school. So-
Oh, that's so awesome. That's really cool. And so then at the end of the day, they did a bunch of stuff. They met with GC members. Alex went, thank you, Alex,
Thank
for
you, Alex.
going.
Yeah.
So GC member, we should say. They met
I
with
didn't realize they
parents.
were here. They were here?
Yeah, but they did yours via Zoom. They were here.
I would have come here. I had no
don't know
idea.
why
I thought
they
they were
did it.
calling.
That, I don't know why they did that. But they did the parent group via Zoom too. So,
many parents.
I don't know how many showed up in the end. I invited 8 families. So I don't know who showed up because I'm not part of it. And then they did a teacher focus group, they did a leadership focus group, they did classroom observations. And then they did my exit interview and they said, we did very well. There's a whole bunch of pieces though, right? And so teaching and learning, we're great, we're doing it. The financial piece is where we have the most dings against us. And, so there are 3 levels. When we go in front of the hearing committee, in front of the PEC in December, they will go through each of these elements. 1A, teaching and learning, great, you did well. There are 3 ways that it's graded, which is meets, which is the best one. Progress being made, which is like a B, and then doesn't meet, which is an F. So you can either get an A, a B, or an F.
Middle school would be up in arms.
I know they would hate this because it's not a fair grading system. And so we will meet in, as far as the way I counted it, there are basically 8 big ones. We meet 6 of them, 5 of them completely. There's one where we'll probably, bye Lauren, thanks for being here. You don't have to be quiet, you can just.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. So within the financial one, we're not gonna meet. Unless, and I have our audit exit meeting next week, if we have some glowing, amazing audit and we've made huge strides, that could change that and we'll see how it goes. But just given all of the turmoil of the, Melissa retiring and me not knowing how to do any of that and Justine not being here, I really highly doubt that we'll have some glowing.
0 chance, I would say.
That's what I
I
would say.
would not even mention.
Okay, there we go. So we won't meet in finance. We won't meet in, we might say showing progress for governing council because we haven't been timely in, reporting like people resigning and people adding and stuff like that. Jim, you're gonna fix that for us, right? He's not there.
I think it's been
It's the
fixed
chair.
for
I think it's been fixed.
half a year
I think
anyway.
Anyway,
I'm here, but it takes me a second to
Yeah.
unmute. So yes, I'm absolutely. If it'll get us to making progress, you can tell.
exactly. And I don't think it was anyone's fault too. I think Dr. Smith, because of the turnover in director, like there was just a lack of clarity on who did what. Anyway, overall glowing. Next steps, the hearing is on the 12th of December, which is funny because that's what I thought it would be. And it was then,
Somebody,
I guess. And then we will start the contract negotiations. I have started trainings for that. So the day after I turned it all into IPA Center and I'm like, phew, I'm done. I see this invitation pop up. I'm like, what is this? And I go to it and it's a PED meeting. They're like, this is one of 5 2-hour-long meetings about contract negotiations because that's your next step. So that's what I'm doing now.
you have to do it live?
It's a Zoom, live Zoom, yeah.
Do you want someone else with you?
Maybe, I'll let you know.
Okay.
It kind of, I had it on my calendar,
All right.
but I forgot about it. And then when it popped up, I'm like, what is this? And so there will be many more,
It's not one of those things I want to do,
but you would. Thank you. All right. And the contract negotiations, we can change things. We're going to keep most of it the same. It's a good contract. Our charter contract, if you haven't read it, good reading. Things that we may change are our mission-specific goal rubrics. It's a questionable system that we have right now, and it created some issues. So we did not meet our mission-specific goals this year. And the it's all really complex. Anyway, I'm working on fixing it. And we'll have to talk about it at the hearing.
You're fixing it by changing the goal or proposing a new goal.
Proposing a new rubric. It's the way that it's graded. We have a different grade for every single grade level. So 12th graders should get a 9, 11th graders should get an 8, 10th graders should get a 7. And the teachers did not understand this. They were never trained in it. The charter renewal happened in 2020, right? And then we shut down and we're grading experiential ed with this rubric that no one ever understood. And so there are so many reasons that this is a little bit of a mess. I am meeting with one of the charter division women, with Fiona and Maya, on Monday to look at ways we can rework it, to look at ways to streamline it, to collect data better, and so that we always can, because we do meet our goals. But
And do we need to, oh, sorry. Do we need to walk into that hearing with a completely fine-tuned plan and say, we realize we were deficient and this is what we're going to do? Or are we supposed to walk in there and take our lumps?
I think that's a great question. I think something in between. I think we come in and, acknowledge and own mistakes made, and then talk about what adult actions we're going to take to address them, and to talk about the beginning of our plan, because I don't want to rush it to get it done for that hearing and then have this mess happen again.
When you mentioned that, well, 12th graders should be at a 9 and 11th graders should be at an 8, whatever, that was absolute news to me. And I was around when we initiated that, and I don't think any of us had a notion of how that was all supposed to work.
Yeah, that's what I think too. It just never was communicated well. There was, and I blame the pandemic, not any person or teacher or anything like that. Okay, so enough about all of that. We had an early release yesterday for a staff meeting, and that was really good because we hadn't had one since July, an all staff meeting. Our calendar is so full, we can't. And so Pete has done a whole lot within risk management, and he shared a lot of that. And we have another drill coming up where we'll take the kids on the buses to the convention center, because that is the next step in the reunification drills and pieces that are required. Jackie, you're on here. I think you've already gotten to introduce yourself. Jackie and I knew each other in the Cobre district, and do you want to give a little? I know Harry's met you, but no one else has, and I'm so excited you're here. You want to give a little bit of your background?
Sure. What Hannah was trying to say is that we both were librarians back at the Cobre School District. That's how I met Hannah. And I was trying to remember the year, and I can't even remember that. Probably in 2015? Yeah.
15 or 16, yeah.
15 or 16,
yeah.
So then there was an opening at the admin office, and I moved to human resources. Did human resources for about 2 years, and then there was an opportunity to move into the finance department, where I became the chief procurement officer there. And at the same time, I was working on my master's. So I received my master's in.
You just left that. Can she hear me? She got her master's in business.
For grants. I've just been assisting our finance director with all his duties there at Cobre. And then Hannah came along and we started talking, and she let me know about this opening. So that's how I found out of the position. And like I said, I'm really excited about being with the schools. It just seems like such a great group of people. Staff goes way beyond what they need to. And it's just a great opportunity to be there with you guys.
Thanks, Jackie. Anybody have questions or anything for Jackie? No. Okay. Thanks, Jackie. So,
Thanks, Iris.
Bye.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.
The audit exit interview is next week. And I will probably, share, I'm sure that, what does that even look like? I can't remember, Harry.
You sit on the phone and listen to their report about what they did.
Did they send me the report then, or not yet?
No, not yet.
Later. And then I share it with the GC. They come and share it with the GC or no?
They could if they wanted to. I think they did that remotely last year.
I can't
If
remember.
I remember watching them. No? Okay. So the deal is, first it has to get sent to Santa Fe.
Right.
Get sent to the Office of the State Auditor. And they can take a few months before they approve it. They don't always take that long, but they can.
Right.
And once they approve it, we still can't see it for another 5 days, which is a bizarre vestige of, I don't know what, horse and
Right.
buggies? I have no idea, but there's a 5-day moratorium on discussing it. And then we can have it be presented. And whether they do it or we do,
Okay,
or Jackie does, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
I have some vague memory that I'm now on the audit committee.
I was about to ask who the second member
I
is.
think I am.
Then have you gotten an invitation?
LST, no, that's not what made it onto our agenda, but you have the official list.
I have the official list. I can pull it up. Do you want me to do it now?
Yeah, it's worth nailing down
Let's
because of
nail
the
it.
experience we had with
I
them.
was on audit committee last year, 2 years ago. There was no, they didn't, any report from the
They
state.
never made any presentation. Yeah.
So. Finance equity, did I just skip over it, or is it? Sorry, Jackie, I'm looking for this document. I'm not sharing my screen because I'm just trying to find it.
No, you're fine.
There's curriculum, oh, it must be way over here. Is there an audit committee on here?
Can you shrink the whole thing so we can get a bigger view of it all?
That's a good idea.
But the meeting's always at 4 o'clock. Are they all different?
They're different.
Risk management's 4 though.
They're all different. Risk management is at 4.
I'm gonna put on my calendar because nobody ever, like, I never see the alert.
There is no audit committee on this list.
Can you go all the way to the left column?
I'm going. I'm trying.
Yeah,
I hate
my hand was just wanting it there.
wanting me to go there.
And then try scrolling again. Thanks, because there were some that were unidentified as far as I can see.
There
There
it
it
is.
Alex Dager, you're right.
So
How's
Jackie,
it? That's the 23rd.
and I don't know, Jackie, tomorrow or whenever, I'll share this list with you and we'll look at it. But I told you already, you're on audit and finance.
Okay, no, that's fine.
What
Yeah,
is the time?
and
Is it
It is at 10:30.
on the 23rd?
yeah. Did you not receive an invitation? I will reach out to Joel Cameron, who's the auditor contact for us, and just ask him to invite you.
10 a.m.?
10:30.
And
Thanks, Harry, for making sure we had all that.
one of the things, Alex, for bringing it up, you can multitask.
Yes, you can. All right, I'm gonna go back to where I am tired now.
I know the feeling.
So let's see here. We were on audit interview. Today there was an educational leaders luncheon that I attended. Will Hawkins didn't show.
Oh,
And I have so much to talk to Will about, but he didn't make it. The Legislative Education Study Committee is here in town. They were here yesterday and today, and I am feeling super bitter because they never even reached out to me or invited me to any of it, and Will hosted it all at Silver High, and there was some big shindig last night. And no one invited me or told me. So
wow.
I don't know who to talk to about that. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I'll just ask Saya. Anyway, the Ed Leaders Luncheon was nice. And I think the biggest thing that came out of that is that Shepherd's applying for this huge food sustainability grant, and he wants to loop in Montessori and Cobra and Silver and us. And that would be great. Facilities, there's a lot to talk about. So one, we got some good news, which is that we have a facility plan next year we have to do. There was the opportunity to get some state funding for it. Harry filled in the paperwork and we got some state funding for it. Usually it's around
It's a
35,000.
match.
It's a match.
It's a match.
Yeah.
so Depends on what we spend.
Depends, yeah. Well, I thought it was very clear it was 12,000 that they gave us. So it
Well,
won't cover all
I
of
don't
it.
think they give us a full, if we go on the cheap,
Then they'd
which
go
we've done in the
less.
past, they
What's
pay
it
less.
for exactly? I'm unclear.
To help to develop a facilities plan,
Oh,
because
okay.
while we have to develop a million other plans, the safe schools plan, the wellness plan, the whatever, the facility plan, they don't trust us to do, thank goodness. And so they make us pay for it, but they're gonna help.
I see.
Well, yeah, so it's a facilities master plan, FMP. And because we're talking about moving, I don't know exactly how we're gonna do this plan.
I don't
but
either.
it
I'm
may
probably
well
gonna
be a
ask
really
for
good thing
an
that we have
extension.
profession.
Yeah.
That,
So we
that
have
could be great.
Who does it? You know?
They
There's-
sent us a list of approved organizations who
I see.
do it.
Okay.
We don't get the money if we don't use someone from the list.
So we'll use someone from the list, yeah. And then the bad news about facilities. So the day or two before break, Will Hawkins called me to let me know that PSFA had been here in Silver Schools touring all of his sites because he has to do the consolidation. PSFA, rates buildings, and the lower the rating, the better. I think you need to have a 26 for a building to be inhabitable. Jose Barrios does not have a 26. It is somewhere in the 30s. It is possible that
We've been way worse than
Way
thirties.
worse.
We were in the eighties.
yeah, Cliff schools are in
serious.
the 90s.
Yeah.
Sixth Street is in the 50s. So JB being in the 30s is not the worst news
That's
I've
not
ever
bad at
gotten.
all.
Will was telling me like it was gonna be the end of my world. I'm like, oh, that's a hiccup, man. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it is our first roadblock. We're gonna have to figure this out. Number one, I know this building wouldn't be a 26 and we
Oh.
were able to move into it.
Right.
And so, and maybe you know more, Harry, because I called Wayne. Wayne's like, all we needed was e-occupancy and we could move in. Is that because we lease?
No, that's not
Exactly,
true,
that's
actually.
what's my-
We
Ah.
also had to have an adequate weighted, what is that?
Oh,
darn thing called,
the
the
whole-
number refers to.
the number, it has an
F-
acronym
yes,
that's
the-
NMSCIM.
WI weighted index or something.
Yeah, something.
We had to have that also,
Oh, interesting.
and we met it, but it didn't have to be, I don't think, a 26.
Okay.
I think it just had to be below the statewide median or something like
Oh,
that.
interesting. There is so much for me to learn. I don't know anything about
don't
this
see it.
right now. I am in the process of learning a lot. Wayne is gathering information for me. We will continue on, but that's our first thing that we know. And PSFA will not let them give us a building to move into that doesn't meet that
And
rating.
We don't know what accounted for that rating, what aspect of the building.
Oh, Will can give us the report of why. There's a lot of reasons, but
You didn't hear PSFA say that. Will told you they told
yes,
him.
correct. I have not spoken with PSFA yet. I asked Charter School Division for a good contact over there. I'll be reaching out to them next week. I thought I'd start with our guy who's gonna help, who gave us the award and just tell him what's going on.
A lot of this stuff, we've talked about having a facilities committee.
We need
I
to
think we should have
reinvigorate
it.
it.
I think
Yes.
that committee needs to start, so they've got a year or
Do you
two.
want
back.
to spearhead starting back up
Lots
facilities?
of other people wanted to be on facilities. Jim wanted to be on
Yeah.
facilities. So no, I think it should be something I don't do,
Okay,
if that makes
I
sense to
want to
you.
be on the silver one.
Sebastiano, you're on it?
I don't know, I think it was.
Well, we got a new member and we can throw her on there.
Well, I don't think we should throw anybody unless, I mean, Jim, I read your email correctly, didn't I, that you want to be on facilities committee?
I'm happy to be on when I was reviewing the recording of the last meeting, I realized we were pretty top heavy on risk management. I had attended a risk management meeting earlier in the school year, but I said, I don't have to be there if the real need is for facilities. I'm interested in that as well. So I know we're supposed to have 2 committee assignments. I'm definitely down for curriculum. I noticed in the notes on the agenda, I wasn't listed for anything. I am happy to do facilities and risk management or curriculum and facilities.
So Jim, can I ask you to spearhead starting back up facilities, which also includes figuring out when on earth it can meet? I am having a really hard time scheduling anything because there is a meeting every single day after school. And I'm thinking about honestly telling high school that they have to go back to Wednesday mornings like it used to be when you were here, because there is not a day in the month where we could add another committee, it seems to me right now.
Yes, I can do that. I'll get that rolling.
Awesome. And let me know
Thanks.
anything I can do to help. And if you can find a day, then do it. Otherwise, let me know and I'll talk with Pete about moving high school meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So I have more bad news. Jackie was on this call this morning. So school reporting, there used to be a system called STARS that Harry would have been familiar with. They changed that system and it's called NOVA now. And so NOVA is the system that pulls information on the 40th, the 80th, and the 120th day to figure out, how many kids you have, blah, 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 blah. There's always discrepancies, and then you have to go through and clean up all your discrepancies. And one of our discrepancies was with our calendar. And so the calendar that Melissa sent to School Budget Bureau was faulty in many, many ways. The major one was that teachers started end of July and go a week of what's professional development. It's all planning and getting ready for the school year. And somehow she had marked that week as instructional days. And so they're not instructional days and we don't get paid for those days. And so we lost $50,000 with that and the fact that I added in collegial conversations. So those early release days weren't on the original calendar that was sent to School Budget Bureau. There was a lot of turmoil with the calendar because there was the lawsuit against PED and people kept waiting. And so Melissa, whatever she turned in, I honestly had never seen the spreadsheet where she turned in that calendar to School Budget Bureau till this morning. She had sent me a draft calendar and that's what I used to craft the calendar that I shared with you that you all approved. Anyway, we fixed all the discrepancies. Everything's good. It all aligns. Harry's making a funny face at me. This is not my fault.
That is definitely not my face.
And we did lose some funding. We will recoup some within growth units because we are a little bigger than we were last year. But our projections, it's going to be close. Anyway, that's where we're at. Everything's fixed, but I wanted to share that unfortunate news.
I don't understand why we lost 50,000.
So because they had our instructional days at 186, because 5 days were counted as instructional that were staff time. And so our days
there's
dropped
some
down to
new system that
181.
Pays us by instructional day?
Yes.
That didn't exist.
No, it does now. Any days over 181, you can generate revenue for. And that's what it looked like we had done, but we had not.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know what to say other than Jackie and I know a lot about calendars now. And when we develop the calendar for next year, we're going to be really careful. And this was awesome. So the woman who we met with, her name is Sarah Cordova. She's the deputy, you know her very well, for school budget. And I said, since I have you on a Zoom call this morning, can I ask you a question, something I don't understand, because I've inherited a whole lot here. School days, you can only give so much credit for. And we have 7 hours and 15 minutes in our school day. You can't count lunch. You can't count passing periods. They are so down to the minute. I'm like, how do I get budget money for the fact that we go out and we have 17-hour school days, right? Or at least 14. And she's like, what? I'm like, our school's non-traditional. Let me explain. She's like, I don't know, maybe we could. She's like, I could take this to policy. So she asked me to craft a narrative explaining all the, and she asked, it's not on weekends. I'm like, no, it's not on weekends. It's not an activity or a club. No, it is really curricular time. So maybe get some funding for all the work we do, which would be super cool.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, for sure.
Back when we had to report hours,
Uh,
not days. I
Uh-huh.
don't know if you remember those.
no, I
times.
don't.
It was 1080. Remember, all schools were 1080.
1080,
hours,
yeah, I know
right?
hours, right?
And you had that at the hour. It didn't matter what days you had.
Okay.
We counted backpacking trips. I think we counted like 16 hours.
I would count it at
I
16.
totally-
I was
Eric-
trying to
Eric
figure
and I
today
used to
what
go
I would go.
through
No
and add
way,
up
that's
all the
fascinating,
hours.
Harry.
And of
I
course,
didn't know
it's different
that.
by grade.
Sure. Middle school
But we
doesn't
did
have as
all of it.
many.
We
Yeah.
counted up every hour. And in school trips, right? Not just backpacking.
When did it switch from hours to days?
Oh, God.
And why?
The why was they thought that schools were gaming, I think. I think they thought we need to have more actual days of instruction.
Right.
I don't know, was that Mimi Stewart? Somebody got a total wild hair up somewhere bad. And
It'll
they've
be
been making
live stream.
schools pay for it for years now.
Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, so I thought that was super exciting that she was open to hearing about it and said, sure, I can look at that. And so, Jackie, you can help us too. Ally, I told Ally
Yeah.
Hennigan, we're gonna start
And I guess the
crafting a
teachers
narrative.
as well, I mean, the extra money, obviously.
Yeah,
then
it would
just
just
go-
get counted, it would go into it would be our SEG, that there would be,
Just for the-
that money from the state would be increased.
Teachers,
Right.
teachers get a
The
salary
salary.
because the school gets.
Yeah, but if we're
funded.
getting more money because they're working extra hours.
Right now, they do not
This is
get
what their
extra
contract
money for
calls
that.
for.
Right.
But the contract calls for it, and teachers at our school make more than local. We pay higher than Silver. We start them, they start in the same place. Anyway, we pay more than Silver and Cobre to account for the extra duty and
But-
expectation.
But what, let's say a teacher finds out we're getting paid for 16-hour days and they're working 8-hour days, wouldn't that upset them? I mean, I don't know. I don't know
would
how it
hope not.
works. I'm not.
I
If
don't
I were
know.
you, I would flip it around. Should we dock them pay because we lost $50,000 in funding?
What, it's not the teacher's fault they did the calendar wrong?
I-
They do the
So,
calendar?
so in other words, you think that would be wrong?
Yeah,
It's a two-way street.
No.
Well,
it's
there's a
just
contract.
money for the school, for all
For
the
the school.
programs.
Right, it's not money for salaries per se.
It could be
Yeah,
though,
but that's
if
what-
we
but
get
That's the
raises,
angle we're
if
going
whatever.
at is,
Yeah.
oh, we're working 16 hours a day. Oh, we'll get you more money.
Definitely not how the contract is written.
Okay, I am gonna move
I'm
on.
just.
Hannah, I am gonna, it was nice meeting you, everyone. I am going to log off.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, Jackie.
Thank you, and we'll get together on all that stuff that you want to share with me
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Plenty to do.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jackie.
You have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So I just pulled up quickly and I'm done after this, our Instagram, which the students have been working on. It's really great. Here's a picture of William. William got a leader jersey at the Pajarito last weekend. And Ethan is the reigning state champ. So our mountain bike team is just killing it. And you can see the Instagram is looking so great. There's Iris looking adorable. She is a freshman.
I know
just-
that land.
This, you might know where that is. She is a freshman, just to point out about Iris. I think she's such a stellar kid for being a freshman. This is senior sunrise that happened this Monday. So the seniors came early at 6:30 in the morning and they hiked up to the big tree and watched the sunrise. And I thought that was
so good.
really sweet and wanted to share that. What's that?
My kid went there.
Yeah, and Raven came and helped because it was a little bit student council.
Oh.
And because Raven's another stellar kid who's always there to help.
Oh,
All right. So I'm done, unless anyone has questions for me.
I have questions, but does anybody else first? No. So I asked you about Facebook.
Yeah,
Are
did they
these
post-
automatic? I don't,
I told the
I don't
girls that they do automatically post. I have not had time to
all right,
check.
I'll check.
You check,
I have forgotten to.
but they were like, oh, I didn't realize that. It's just a, you just toggle
Yep,
over.
yep.
Yeah, and so I believe they are doing both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have, you mentioned some lack of communication with Silver Consolidated about the LESC meeting.
Yeah,
But they did at least previously invite you to join the facilities committee
Yeah.
over there. Has that?
it hasn't started yet.
So it has.
No. And I did talk to Will the week before break and we talked for a while. He said he'll let me know as soon as it does.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that this process is gonna be so long. I think he's very optimistic to think he can get it done in a year or two. It's gonna be a process.
So what would that mean for us? We don't have anywhere to go.
That's just it's just a pebble in the road, Alex.
Okay, but it is a salient point as well, that we would
Yeah,
not have a place
yeah.
to go.
It
That
is.
a possibility.
Right. I think that if we had things all lined up and it's like, oh, it's one more year, would Shepherd give us one more year? I think he would. I think that he, employs a lot of people whose kids go here and that he wants to support schools. I don't think he'd make us move for a year. If we're like, oh, we have nowhere to go and there's nothing lined up,
Anything.
that would look very different. And then I think we have a real problem. But we're not, that's,
Be horrible PR.
yeah, exactly.
And he
for
wants to
sure.
use this for the food, the sustainability.
Right.
Yeah, no, he needs us on his good side.
All right.
All right.
The director's report, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Under old business, item A here is director's evaluation.
I'm just gonna get water.
Okay.
They grilled me on that PED conference.
Yeah,
Why haven't you done it? What day was it supposed to be done? What's the plan? I had very little to say about it, because I don't know.
But you told me because she's on a 2 years contract.
I told him that, but still, I mean, we still have to do it.
With that.
Well, I told him we postponed it because it was 2 year contract, so the deadline to the contract, but they still. Yeah,
They thought we
it seemed
shouldn't
like
have
a
postponed
sore
it?
point. Yeah, they felt like something that we should have done. They wouldn't let it go.
well, so you and Jim and Amy apparently met.
Yeah, I've sent you guys the Google form for the staff evaluation. You all should have it.
Well,
And
guys,
Ji-
sorry, Alex, just to clarify, I sent a draft of the Google form. And I said, please, before we implement this, give me some feedback. And I didn't hear from anybody at that point.
Prior to
So-
that, Jim, prior
What's
to-
that?
I sent everybody the staff version.
Well, so did I. So what did we decide?
That is what we're discussing
That's what
now.
we're
I think.
discussing right now.
Okay,
When was that sent? I don't remember seeing it.
So I sent mine a long
September
time ago.
30? I think Jim's was September 3rd.
Google form?
It was a link. I sent you the link.
Yes, school director evaluation for governing council members came on September 30 from Jim. And then he says, please don't take the survey.
I did get it, yeah.
And so Alex, your blessing is being requested. Did you already bless this?
I haven't blessed that. No, we didn't bless the first one that I sent out. So we're behind in our blessings.
Same.
Anyway, the point is, I will send it again. 'Cause
Oh.
that's, or not. I mean, I'll look at what Jim sent first.
Yeah, you should definitely, I don't want to keep having
I got it.
different copies go back and forth.
Well,
I think what I need anyway is for you guys to tell us what you need.
what we need is, we needed you to go look over it, what we've sent.
The director evaluation for governing council members or for the staff?
They are essentially the same. There's 2 additional questions on the GC version.
That's it. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this is for the director evaluation.
Correct.
So we're not doing that other method that we agreed to in the special meeting in March or April, whenever that was?
It's the
It's
same.
September.
This is what you're looking at is what we collated together from that meeting. So we took the Siembra
Institute.
Yeah,
Institute one and we reformulated it, rewrote it to our specifications. But that's what you'd be looking at. Now, well, the thing that we don't have is a timeline. We still don't have a timeline.
Which is in a contract, or it should be, even if it's a 2-year contract, it's in there.
Well, there's a piece of
Well,
it that's in the
our-
But the
contract.
contract says, yeah, exactly, the window within we should be doing that,
And
but
it
then
was-
we had to decide, okay, we do this date, we never.
But we need to do
decided
that, they
Right,
grilled
so
me on
all-
that.
what we need to
That's what
do,
she's saying, yeah.
I agree.
we need a timeline, so we can pretty much, once we approve this staff version,
So I have a proposal.
we can send it out.
I want to know if you and Jim feel comfortable with this, but I do not think we should take any extra time to see if Alex and Sebastiano and I approve of the way it's written. I think we should go,
I-
with what you guys have done.
I was about to ask you, Harry, and you beat me to the punch, if it was appropriate now for me to move that we approve that document. And the one concern I have is Alex mentioned there were 2 extra questions, and I don't have that on my screen right now, but I was thinking that I wrote 4 extra questions based on what we had. I would say that I'm sort of formulating a motion right now. I feel like it's sooner the better, and I would like for us to be able in November to discuss the GC's results from that survey and possibly the staff's results from that survey. I mean, I feel like we're tardy at this point, so it's a sooner the better for the sake of our director who needs feedback.
So I don't, just to answer Jim's question, and then go on to you, Alex. I don't believe we need to take official governing council action, Jim.
Okay,
We can agree as individuals that we want to move ahead. It's not on our agenda for an action item, and I wouldn't normally think of this as an action item anyway. It's not establishing a new policy, it's our own internal, how we want to evaluate the director.
okay. That was one of my items when I was talking about the agenda. I said, oh, did I flub it? Because I wanted to be on the agenda for that. So that's good. We're
I think that what should be done, however, somebody should compare the two. Because I have to admit, I haven't looked at Jim's version. So let's just decide when we want to send this out or start doing. I mean, I can look at it in the next day or two and make sure that it reflects, it jives with the other one. That's
Okay.
what I'm concerned about.
Jim, do you have anything to relieve that concern, or should we?
Yes, I do. When we met, gosh, Alex, it must have been back am I remembering perhaps we met in July and we were using that Siembra version, and I basically adapted those questions. Then I sent you the draft back, and I know you made some alterations, which I considered minor. You said, do you mind? I didn't necessarily agree with them, but they weren't a big issue for me. Like, I didn't feel like they were stymieing the process. I think we're still going to get valuable data from your version. But that was as far as I know, that was the staff version. So I added 4 questions. I think some members of the board are going to have to leave some of those questions. If we give the governing council, the staff plus the governing council 4 questions, I think we have to be careful that we don't answer questions we really don't have data for. Do we really know what Hannah's doing the way the staff would know? And I think the answer is no, and I think that might have gotten us into some challenges before. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I think there are some questions that we as a governing council can't answer on that survey.
All right, it doesn't sound like that's persuaded Alex, and I don't have a problem if you want to take a day or two. Make
Yeah,
sure
because
you're good.
I don't understand what 4 questions, there's only 5 questions on the thing. So I don't understand I want to see what he is talking about
Okay.
with 4 questions.
So here's my concern. That sounds great. And if you say, oh, this is great, let's go, no problem. If you say there's some bunch of missing that are really important, do we have a special meeting?
I think it depends on the degree. I
Yeah.
really would like to just
Yeah,
put my eyes on both of these.
Yeah.
And I can promise to do that by in the next day or two.
and based on that, we'll decide if we need a special meeting
Yes.
or if we can just move ahead.
Correct.
Is everybody,
I mean,
Comfortable with that?
We could even go forth with the assumption that we have an evaluation to send out, and when do we want to send it out? Right? I mean, I wouldn't mind picking a day to start this process.
even though we don't have a document?
Yes, because I'm not worried about that.
All right, Alex, and you were gonna say something?
I'm just confused because we had a special meeting for this in the spring.
This
March
is
or
all,
something?
this is all reflected.
Right, each of us was given a part, and I know I turned mine in. I mean, I thought we agreed, we had the topics we're supposed to do, we did them, and that was it, we're supposed to present them.
Right,
Like, do you still have my sheet? Because I don't have a copy of it, I gave you,
Right.
I went and talked
We
to
took
teachers,
all
I
that
talked to parents.
I think
I
yours
get
is
it.
actually the only one we got back.
Yeah, so I don't remember
Yeah.
in my bag.
Oh,
we
So
discussed
we,
it last
we
time,
took but we based it on what we had discussed.
but we had different interpretations of what happened after that special meeting.
But we agreed on which form we're gonna use, which questions each of us was gonna do, we were gonna fill them out, turn them back to you and present.
That's not my recollection, and I think
That's
that was
my
not, I
recollection.
know, but I'm telling you, we didn't all remember what you remembered.
Well,
Sebastiano and I believe, remembered that we were to review those questions and recommend any changes to be made.
No, no,
to
we
them,
were each
not to
assigned one.
actually fill them out.
We were each.
Alex, we don't need to keep saying the same thing,
Okay,
right? This is the third meeting that
Yeah.
we've gone over this exact thing.
and I don't
So
wanna
just
do another
accept.
special meeting for the
So
same
just
thing we
accept
agreed
that
to and
we-
didn't do.
That's
It
fine.
seems like such a waste of time.
Then
We
don't
don't need-
pretend, but if we have to have one, we're gonna have one.
Yeah,
But I think,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I think, have you had a chance to look at it?
the Google, honestly, I just looked at it.
Okay, so if you still have concerns, once you look at it, then we can go from there. But I think that we incorporated stuff. I think you will find it comprehensive.
Well, I feel like I did the part, I turned it in. I don't know what else I need to do. I don't understand what the new thing is.
Well,
Because I already
we
did it,
didn't- we
and I
had
did
to
it so
put
long
all
ago, I don't even
together.
remember what it is.
We had to put it all together, Alex, and
Right.
create a form that we could use, which is what we've done here. So if it doesn't.
Yeah.
I suggest you look at it first and then we'll see if there's an issue with it, because I think it covers a lot of the points that we need covered.
And I think that's a good idea, because remember, I have my notes about the section that was given to me and the changes I was gonna suggest with that section. And so I can go back to my notes and see if what's in the actual form matches with what I would have changed, and if I'm happy with that, I'm happy then.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with your, so
So,
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. You do that.
I need to, I hope I can find my notes, this is just with the assumption that they put my notes in my binder and it's still there.
So
Because
I-
I definitely I did turn it in. I know that.
You did?
No, I did, no, I
You did
don't
not,
think, so,
yeah.
no.
Alex T,
Yes.
you would like also to set a date at this point?
Well, I'm saying if people feel comfortable, would like to do that, I would feel comfortable with doing that, because I'm just having a little bit of a disconnect right now between what Jim sent and what I sent.
Yeah.
And so I would like to have time to look at those two things and resolve it in my mind before,
What date would you propose?
well, so we have a date, I mean, if Jim wants us to have our Jim, you want us to have these forms back to discuss by next meeting?
Yeah, here's a proposal, and I'm winging it, but I'm thinking, Alex, we were essentially the committee. I'm really simpatico with what you decide. I think if we get an approved document, I'm willing to, I trust you enough to just say, let's make that the survey. And then I think we give GC members till the end of October. And then I don't know if we need a whole committee for this, but I'd be happy to meet with you and review the results of that, because I think I would like to make a report to I'd like to make a report to Hannah this year, and our board meeting in December is going to be our charter renewal, correct? It would just,
We have to think about what we want to do with that, but yeah, I'd say
does that make sense that we'd want to do it in November?
Yeah.
yes.
That doesn't feel like a rush to anybody. Yeah.
I was thinking we'd do it in October, but
Well, well, I am saying we governing council members complete it by the end of the month. Alex and I meet early November, and then is this something we present at a meeting? This is my first time through this. I'm thinking that Alex and I meet and say, hey, this is a summary, Hannah, of what the governing council said. That seems like governing council business. Is that accurate? Or is this a private meeting that Alex and Jim or Harry and have with Hannah, or Harry has with Hannah? How do we handle it?
I can't remember. I think we go into closed session.
I
don't we?
envision an executive session.
Yeah, so we have a
Okay.
regular meeting,
With
then
the
we go
full
into
government.
closed session to share the evaluation with me.
That is the best way for you to be able to ask us questions.
Questions, sure.
So I guess where I got a little bit, maybe I got a little bit coiled up earlier. I'm asking, are we going to also have staff take the survey, or has that been completed where we share staff results with Hannah as well in that executive session?
I think it should happen.
Those are
together.
January.
If it's possible, we should do it
I just
together.
did it.
I agree. Let's do it.
Okay, so what I was saying was, I'm not sure that the survey that we created for staff, I think some GC members have some input on the questions we ask staff. And my question was, is the GC survey, the staff survey plus the 4 questions that I wrote, or the 2 questions that Alex wrote, is it that, or is it strictly those few questions for the GC? Does that make
That's
sense?
the reason I want to go look at them both, Jim. because
Okay, okay.
And I've been remiss, I haven't looked at what you said, so I apologize, but nobody looked at what I said, so we're all even. And that's what I want to take a day or two to do,
Yeah, for sure.
and from there, you know, at that point, if you trust me, you can all look at it.
I do.
Right?
Totally.
And I will say, these are 2 different surveys. This is for the GC, this is for staff. The staff can go, Hannah can send the staff one out.
I can't.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
Jackie
but
can send it
There
out.
you go.
Jackie can send it out on Monday. And we give ourselves a deadline. and
Is it
then we-
possible as GC to see what the staff writes about her?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Because, I mean, we
We're
should
gonna get
base
the
also, yeah,
gonna do that,
that's
yeah.
gonna be a big part of it.
Yeah.
That is a big part of it. Absolutely. In fact, I think it's by far the more important
They
part.
know
of it.
more than we do,
Right.
yeah.
Getting a thumbs up from Jim. Okay. Thank you, Alex. So you will communicate with us,
Yes.
and we will avoid responding to you so that there's no rolling forum. We will just take your information and go. And if,
Yeah, I mean, and if
if
there's,
what it is we need to have a meeting, then I will launch that process.
I mean, the only way we would know if there was a meeting is if I said, this is a mess, and
Yeah,
we need to start over.
totally.
Or if somebody else looks at it and says, this is an outrage.
Right. Okay, if anybody feels that this is an outrage, they should contact me without contacting everybody else. Alex,
And that's from the Marx Brothers.
your outraged
That's a
face is
message.
very similar to your non-outrage.
Just so nobody's confused, though, what I sent out is a Google form, but you can't fill in the dots because it'll give us skewed data. So we need to wait till
Yeah,
Alex.
nobody-
approves
Yeah,
what we have.
Can we read it?
yes,
Without filling
Yeah,
it
you
out?
can read it.
Sure.
yeah.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
Okay.
Under new business, I think this is just hung out on the
Yeah,
agenda by mistake.
well, it was just because Jim
But we
wasn't
should
here
ver-
last time, but he's already said what
We
he
should
wanted
confirm.
to me.
Well, in his email, he also said he was willing to do SAC for a year.
Huh?
And I hear him taking that back now. Am I hearing that correct, Jim?
Well, wait, I never take back anything I promised, but I also see that we have a GC representative who is willing to fall on the great sword of SAC. So I'm going to let that person bleed. And I feel like I've got my work cut out for me with getting things rolling with facilities anyway. So I'm content with that, if the rest of the GC doesn't object.
Right, so this,
Sebastiano, I think he means you.
Well,
See, because that
Well,
was
it's
one of my
listed
few
under
requests
Alex
was to
and
get out of
Sebastian.
that.
there's already two of us. He
Because
could
I've
join
been
it if he
there,
wanted.
I've done 2 years inside.
do we
You've
need
done 2
two
years
people
and
on
you
SAC?
have 3 committees listed there.
Yeah.
So take
No,
SAC off.
and actually there's not development, which is
And
a
development's
community
not on
that I
there.
really wanna be
I
on, and
see.
they've been on since the beginning, so.
I see
My
you,
requests are if I can advance them, development.
Yeah.
And I would like to be on facilities, but
Yeah.
I think I should be on development, then the rest I take what, I do what needs to be done.
facilities and development are your
Okay.
requests.
And
Yes.
Jim.
Not
is
Shack.
Facilities.
Because I've got
If
you-
the facilities, I can do shack, I remember we were trying to keep shack, for Jim kind of because he was.
He's not interested.
He's not interested, okay, so I stay on shack if,
Okay,
Well, we need 2 people in finance. There's only one.
hang on, okay. So I'm just gonna go through this and we'll see what holes we have. Jim, you requested
Do you want me to
curriculum
pull up
and
the
facilities,
doc?
right?
I'm very comfortable with that.
Why? Yeah, okay, why is that?
Alex M, I've got you, risk management, facilities and finance.
I'm not, that's not on this one.
I'm not
Well, you
looking,
just
no,
said it. No.
ignore that. That's a holdover
I'm
from
gonna
last
be on
time.
facilities at Silver, not here.
Yeah.
I asked to be on Silver's facility squad, not this.
So risk management and finance. Is that correct?
Yeah, take me off SAC and put me on finance, because we need 2 members on
That's
finance.
correct.
Now we have no one on SAC.
Alex
We'll
P,
pass Lauren.
development and nominating
Audit,
and audit, right?
I mean, nominating is
No,
And-
not really yeah, so development and audit is what I'm on right now.
Okay. And I'm on policy, finance and audit.
and Jim is doing facilities and curriculum.
So as has been pointed out, that leaves no one on SAC.
I can stay on SAC, because
Let's just ask Lauren. It's fine.
We're
and
assuming,
again, I stay on SAC, that's, because it's a nice.
It's Tuesday at 5.
is that
I
a
know.
regular thing?
I need to put it on the calendar. If anyone wants to come before, we have a new GC member.
But then who is on shack though, because there's nobody on
there's
shack
not.
either.
I don't think we have, well, we do.
I thought you just said you were willing to
No,
do
no,
SAC.
well, no, it depends on how many other committees I'm in.
Don't go
I'm
to
a-
SAC,
Huh?
stay on SHAC.
Okay, I'll do shack and no sack, it sounds better.
It is,
I mean,
it is
in
better.
fact, the audit committee meets twice a year, right?
Right.
That's about right.
So I can go on SAC and I think it'll dovetail nicely, because if we start. to-
Development and SAC really
Planning,
almost
Which
could
is what I
fold
was saying and you
is it?
interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. I think they will complement each
Yes.
other,
I agree.
especially if we do start a plan for a fundraiser.
Alex T, that's awesome.
Ringing our doorbell.
Thank you.
And I do help them.
DoorDash, they come to all our meetings.
I know, right? To the wrong building.
To the wrong building, right? And run upstairs.
They can come in 3 years when they're back in here.
Okay, so I'm on SAC, so somebody needs to send me the,
So what do we need to send you?
I don't know when it is.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
I can't see on there who's the
I
chair.
can't go next. I can't go next Tuesday.
I think you're allowed some leeway considering you just got Shanghai.
Tuesday at 4?
I don't remember what time.
No,
is
usually
that?
they're at 5.
Hannah,
What?
do you have the SHAC?
SAC,
Yes.
SAC, SAC.
I'm sorry, that is what I meant. Do you have the SAC list?
I need 2 on.
School Advisory Committee. So you are the chair. Oh, you get your information from Hannah, Alex.
About SAC?
Oh, no,
Yes.
then.
Okay, Tuesday at 4?
I have to look in emails. I have to send out a parent square. There's parents like swarming out there. The trip is late getting back. I can
Okay.
tell you tomorrow,
Fine,
cause does that
fine.
work?
I will make,
I will add you to the
there's
SAC
I will
list and
remind
we
you.
will communicate with
I will
you.
remind you that I need the information,
Yes,
okay?
You want to take,
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Hannah,
Yes,
I know you're trying to do a parent score thing.
yes.
Jody Evans Crocker, for some reason, is listed as GC on the SAC.
Hmm.
That needs to be,
Yeah, we can
Change.
fix that.
Okay.
Why don't we just switch spots? You can come do this.
Here, I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
Alex, does this mean you want to do other editing?
Sure, let's,
That was not my intention, but since
Well,
you're there,
I'm here, yes.
Yeah.
she's also GC under resource development.
oh yeah,
Jill.
right across the way there. Bingo.
Okay, what else?
Well, to do this systematically, are we at the top? I guess we are at the top. Oh, yeah. Curriculum, you could, there he is, Jim's already on there, that's awesome.
Okay,
Oh, oh,
You gotta, Jody's sliding with you because you didn't click when you entered her there.
nice. Can we take care of the next one before you scroll down?
sure.
So scroll back up. There we go, risk management. It still says co-chair for Avery instead of vice chair. Can we change that? Because co-chair doesn't make any sense. Thanks.
And I'm
Alex,
taking myself off.
Click.
Taking myself off here.
Okay, and Alex McKenzie, you're good with that?
Yeah.
The way it stands?
I have it on my calendar, so I'm gonna remember.
All right, resource development.
That's pretty right. That's, I mean, I don't know if Sebi is,
He is, he couldn't come today, he had practice, I talked to him.
okay.
Who-
SAC,
Who's the, no, hang on a second, who's the chair of resource development?
there is no chair.
Well, it
Is
says
it
Dave
David?
Chandler.
It
Yeah,
is
Chandler,
still
it's
Dave
David,
Chandler.
Got
It
to have a
says
chair. Thank you.
chair, and
It's there.
Oh, look at that.
because he
Community
kind of
star
wants to
chair.
step away, but right now he still is.
Thank you. SAC,
I'm gonna add myself.
and you're gonna, well, you had yourself in place of Sebastiana, so you don't have to be bolded. Like. The whole click thing
What is the clicking about?
registers it.
It just
It's
enters.
taking a-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes it fine.
Okay.
Facilities, Sebastiano. Me. You can take Alex McKenzie
Take
off.
me off, cause I'm going on, yeah, the silver schools. Plus that would make it a quorum. You can't put somebody else.
No.
Yeah, you can. You're doing right. Jim McIntosh is correct.
No, you and
But it's-
Sebastian.
You know, I'm not on it.
Oh, it says you won't.
I know it says it. Be patient.
We know,
I'm
Kai.
really patient, I'd like to say.
Okay.
Shack.
Shack. Alex T, I'm on there too. Look at that.
Yep, so you get to take yourself off because that's Sebastiana.
And a lot of these only need one member, or you don't need two on each.
Right.
That's correct.
Like,
And then we wanna take.
Almost all.
Jim, too.
Yeah, take
Yep,
Jim
and
off,
then take
Shell.
Jim.
You're right.
Click.
When you click on Jim, it'll. And is it correct that Zach Tekka and Mark Gomez are co-chairs?
Really, Mark is chair and Tekka is vice chair. Mark has taken it over.
Can you, yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you want to change Mark to chair instead of co-chair? Doing awesome. Thank you, Alex. You know what, we never cleared up chair of facilities. Is that because they haven't had a chance to
We
choose
haven't, we
one?
don't have them yet. We haven't even met yet.
Right, so I guess we'll just leave that.
Yeah.
All right, anything more down below?
Finance,
Okay,
I'm just looking at something. Did I put myself on audit?
you haven't gotten there yet. No, wait, there you are.
Oh, yeah, I did. Okay.
We need another one.
Well, I'm on it. Chair,
Carries
you
on.
should say GC.
What is it?
GC.
Chair and
But
chair.
I don't think I'm chair. Isn't Jackie chair?
Jackie will be chair of audit. I think, yes, she will.
Is it
And-
IE or Y?
EY, Jackie IE, Riley EY.
Okay.
Chair, CHAIR.
Is that how you spell
I don't know. Where's the,
it?
I don't know where the dash is.
Dash.
Dash, read the parentheses, not dash.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I got that. Smart-ass.
In front of people is miserable.
Smart ass.
To Alex.
All right, across the way is policy. We're gonna do this. Mary Brown, GC, Pete Rankin, chair. That is correct. Equity, I have no clue.
Okay, equity, whatever. We don't know.
Sebastiano's on it also?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
it's
it's
actually been to all the
everywhere.
meetings, yeah.
What?
To all of them.
Well, he's here, he's there.
Oh my
He
God.
just walked next.
Maybe Lauren would be interested in joining equity. We
Yeah.
can sure ask her, but you've been really good on that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Alex
like it.
McKenzie is
Yeah.
no longer the secretary.
How do I-
Co-chair. Or vice chair, what is it?
Vice
Vice chair,
Vice chair.
in charge of all the vice. Secretary,
Just-
she's got it, she's on.
And he's not even.
I don't know how to copy and cut and
You just
paste.
gotta move that one up.
Control X. And now choose a new spot. And Control V.
Perfect.
Can I be a
Oh.
bigger chair?
Business
Can you
majors are so.
Can I be a
like-
rocking chair?
Can you be a chair in the same font as the other?
It's a different chair. Different model of chair.
There you go, look at that. I'd like to be a serif chair.
The word chair is starting to
That
look
looks
like a
fancy.
foreign word to me right now.
It's French.
It's right. Le chair.
The chair.
Okay,
All right.
I think we
Wait.
did it.
Yay,
Yay.
thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Jim, are you still with us?
The no answer.
Yes,
makes-
I am, but I'm in a condo with a number of other people, so I'm muting from time to time, okay? Because I have to sit right by the modem, in between the modem and the Sea of Cortez. So, but I'm here the whole time, hanging on your every word.
I'm
okay,
sure.
Joshua Rex is staff, right?
He is.
Oh my gosh, can you stop?
Wait.
How come I don't get any? I doesn't say chair, it doesn't say staff.
It says chair when you're chair.
Oh,
Okay, I think we should move on.
You have to save that, or will it save by itself?
it will save, it auto saves.
Why did you write on mine?
Well, that's what I was wondering, because you were writing on,
What? This is mine. I got my notes.
I was wondering
Did
why.
You
you
wrote your
lose
notes on my
yours?
notes.
There's notes on the ground too.
So Hannah, I will be bugging you in the next couple days to ask you to send me this document via email. I will include it in the minutes and I'll use it to send out my query with the members of the facilities committee to see when they can meet. Okay, so,
Perfect. That sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna share
Okay.
this document with the whole GC right now, so everybody. has it.
perfect. Gracias.
Yeah.
All right, while you're doing that,
Yes,
and while you're doing Parent Square, you're done with
I'm
it.
done.
Awesome,
Parents
well
Square.
done. Governing Council input.
I'm gonna nominate Lauren Diorio to the GC. And I expect that we will vote on it next month.
Okay. That would be
She is, despite being very late to the interview.
Oh, no.
Which I feel compelled to tell everybody. Because it irked me.
Bummer.
I should almost seem like reminded. She has all the right experience. She's got a experience in mental health, education, outdoor ed, experiential ed, all that. She seems eager. And I liked her after forgiving her for being like.
I'm glad you could forgive. her. I
And
think
did
she's,
she come to us or did somebody recruit
No,
her?
we interviewed her. I interviewed her with a parent, a teacher, and.
No, I know. How did
she's
she-
like
Oh,
Tracy's
Hannah.
partner. And when
Oh,
I
okay.
first met her, I was like, oh my gosh, she is so competent
But
and
we're paying
smart.
him. That's not a conflict
It's not anymore.
Anymore, but we still have. to
Because
do-
our bylaws.
because
changed
she's
the
already
bylaw.
been employed
Yeah.
before we got her.
And then
Okay, I
they're not
gotcha.
married or anything,
No.
right? So
What?
they
They're
don't
not
have a
married.
formal relationship. So
Yeah,
I know, I'm just saying that.
no, but it's good since we
I
changed the
think the
bylaws.
law
it's fine.
includes
No
common
formal.
law
Oh, it does?
partners. I think so.
Yeah, but New
There's
Mexico
no
doesn't
common-
recognize
Yeah,
common
Yeah,
law
there's no
marriage.
common law in New Mexico.
There's no common law here.
I totally believe you. Might have used the wrong term.
Yeah,
Recognize
there's
it
only like two
significant
states,
others.
Florida, Texas.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. let's move
Domestic
on.
partners.
We do have to refine that policy, though.
Yeah, that
So
should
we
go
can
on
make
the
that-
next agenda.
No, I
so-
think it
No,
should
it
not. I
shouldn't.
think
Oh,
it should be a committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
policy.
it seems like you and Jim and I should talk about it. So we can notice a meeting.
But in
because
the
there are three of us.
future, when it comes to renewing Will Tracy or anything, she would just have to recuse herself, like how.
Yeah, she would
Yeah.
probably.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's exactly
anything
what she
having
has to
to
do.
do with
Okay.
him, she would need to recuse herself, for sure.
So very quickly, is at next meeting, will we be discussing Lauren's candidacy? Or are we doing that now?
No, next meeting.
Okay, all right, then I'll save my comments because I have good things to say about her, but I'll wait.
All right. I don't think it's incumbent upon you to wait, but that's up to you. You can decide to do that.
Well, it's not a long comment, but I participated in a search and rescue mission with her, an all-day mission, and she is responsible, thoughtful. She understands how systems work. She's not cocky or arrogant. I was very impressed with her, and I got to, we spent 8 or 10 hours together, so I got to visit with her quite a bit. I don't know if that counts for much in terms of her board qualifications, but as far as a solid person and I felt the same thing about her knowledge about mental health, about her experience in education. I really feel positive about her, and I think we need some youthfulness on this council too. So that's it.
Great. Thanks, Jim. I agree.
What?
Yes, he said that. So Jim, are you willing to meet with Alex Tager and myself to discuss the nepotism language at some point? We'll have to notice the meeting, but that's not a problem.
Yeah, I'm returning late on the 22nd. I can also do a little Zoomy here in San Carlos, but if there's not, either way is good.
You're willing to wait till he's back, right?
Whatever.
We've been flouting the yes.
I will say that the PEG reached out because we did not yet put in the paperwork for updating our bylaws, and they're very aware that we haven't, and they're waiting on that paperwork. So if we are changing the bylaws, we want to get it done and get that paperwork in
Okay,
as soon as possible.
then give me a time and I'll make time ASAP rather than on the 23rd.
What was
I
due?
thought that was due on already.
I already uploaded the bylaws. So,
That's how, so there's different things.
oh, yes.
She complied with the October 1st. That's how they know that we haven't complied with the standard notification of having changed our bylaws,
I see.
Right.
because we complied with the other thing.
I see.
Okay. So, okay. If we do the notice tomorrow, then we can meet on the day you're coming back, the 22nd.
22nd is a very bad day for me. I have
It's like a catch 22 sort of day. What day do you want it to be?
Okay, do we really have to meet
No,
about this? Can we just converse somehow?
Well, if it's 3 of you, you have to have a
Just
meeting.
me, because then it's like, then you have communication.
Okay, well, then we meet, we have to meet with the,
we can meet by Zoom.
So is a 3-way phone call sufficient?
but we still have to Don't we still have to?
Yeah, then we have to
Yes.
publish that you're
Okay.
meeting. It's
Yeah.
fine. I just put it on the website. It takes me 5 seconds.
Exactly right.
Fine, so
gonna
whatever,
have
the
to do
next day, then. The next day?
The 23rd?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
The day of the exit conference?
Correct.
Sure. Jim, you available the 23rd?
I am. I do not have my calendar, but I'm thinking that I might have a curriculum committee meeting then. So, but what time of day shall we meet?
I just mean at noon, that works.
Staffing the Democratic office. How about 11?
Fine.
11
We're
a.m.,
in the
Jim?
audit meeting at 10:30. Will
Yeah.
we be done at 11?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they
I
have,
don't know how
they
long.
have a very rigid schedule with many schools. So Jim, 11 o'clock on the 23rd.
October 23rd, 11 a.m. I'm typing it into my personal notes. Thank you.
Or will you just send me a little blurb that I can put on the website?
Yes, thank you for doing that, Henry. This is the nepotism committee.
Yeah.
It sounds sinister.
I'm just entering it in my thing.
Whatever happened to changing the day of the meeting for Justine?
It got shot down.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
We discussed it and it didn't work.
And since we were paying her, she kind of.
Yeah.
Had to abide by it.
But that is why we moved her up
It's a good beginning.
toward the beginning. All right, thank you for that. Any other governing council input? No. See none. We have one action item, which is approval of bars 10 and 11 as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve bars 10 and 11.
I will second.
presented.
Here we go, made by Alex M, seconded by Alex T.
Aye.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye. Jim, I didn't hear a vote.
Aye. Aye.
Right, ship sailed.
Aye. You see, go.
All righty. There's nothing, no other business to conduct, and as chair, I therefore adjourn the meeting,
yay.
except that I'm wrong. Why do we have to put this down here? This needs to be,
What?
the next meeting, November 14,
That's correct.
that's good, right?
Yeah,
But December, I think we might as well talk about, since we already know it's an issue.
Yeah, because we'll be in Santa Fe.
December 12, we'll have the charter renewal hearing. Do we want to meet the 19th?
Can we discuss it the next meeting? You know,
We could.
discuss
Yeah,
it at the
next meeting. You already adjourned. I'm not talking about it.
There you go. I'm with you.
All right,
I totally
we're gonna
support that.
kick that
We're
can down
kicking
the
that can,
road.
yeah.
I was actually gonna say the same thing.
Were you?
Sorry, you already adjourned.
Messed up. All right.